and do not reflect the opinions of In Touch Radio or its staff.
Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, world? I already know. A little late. It's my fault. So, we ain't going to talk too long before, just got a guest and everything. Going to bring the guest on and what have you after the first break. But I do want to say I'm so happy to be here with you. It's such a beautiful time every time I get to kick it with you at the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News, where everybody is a star and the biggest star is you. Definitely, as is my custom, have to give a big, tremendous shout out to my main man, DJ CEO, and Mrs. DJ CEO, aka Tampa Bay Tammy, for making this platform possible to bring you incredible programming like the Life Malcolm Show. As you know, we've been here now for a whole season. We going on season number 2. And, definitely glad that you're here with us. Got my main man, Bezel, behind the boards doing his thing, and, making it sound all good and nice. And as you know, the first segment, there you go. The first segment we always do what we call something light. And so we going, like I said, we started a little late. And DJ, cut the music. I owe you explanation about why we're late. It's not the station's fault. It's all on me. My daughters, y'all met them before, Miles and Jaye. They had the first basketball game today out in Luke's. And the game started at 4:15. They played 7-minute quarters. And it's like 38 minutes away in 5 o'clock traffic. And so I got out of there at 5:20 and beelined over here. The GPS Waze had me scheduled to make it here at 6:01 at first, and then 5:59 by the time I got on 275 South. But I don't know what it is. These people in Florida act like they cannot drive in the rain. And so I ended up getting here at 6:03, 6:04, something like that. And so it's on me. But no way in is nothing in the very few things. I can't imagine a thing that that I would have allowed to stop me from being at their first basketball game. And I will tell you, although they were not victorious this evening, I was very proud of the way my daughters played, and a couple of their teammates really impressed me as well. Now I'm gonna tell you, I done watched them play volleyball, and they didn't win no games. Sometimes they went scoreless, and they have the same basketball coach that they have for volleyball, and some of the same team members as well, if not all of the same team members. And I didn't know. I'll put it like this: I was mighty afraid that the basketball season was going to end up like the volleyball season, but much to my delight, they did all right, man. They scored 19 points. The other team scored 27. And, you could tell that the other team been, getting their play on. So, I'm proud. If at one point it was tied up, they doing their thing. So, yeah, looking forward to the next game. Hopefully I can make it. Hopefully I'm not, deterred from that by some event, most likely. Somebody going to jail. Man, we be going to jail. And when they go to jail, I go to court. I don't mind. But, that's what we do. But I sometimes can't get to some functions, man, because of that reason. But hopefully I can make it to the next game, Yeah. Anyway, that made me, think to myself, Bezel, me and you ought to start playing basketball or something,
Yeah, I need to get my skills.
We out of shape.
I'm out of shape.
I'm speaking for you.
Speaking for us. I agree.
No, really, it's me. And I need to get myself in shape. But so I'm gonna get out there with the daughters. We usually get out there and just play. What you call that with the
21
horse? No, we ain't playing 21 yet because it's a little too competitive. But now since they've had their first competitive match, I feel confident that they can get on out there and have a little light game with pops, and we could do a little something. In the competitive realm, look, like you said, a little 21 might be more like 11. Well, when I don't know if you know how it is when you get old.
Oh man, I played basketball the other day, and I couldn't shoot for nothing.
Yeah,
I was a 3-point.
I ain't even talking about shooting. I'm talking about breathing.
Just breathing. 2 seconds, I was done.
Yeah.
I was like, couldn't breathe.
Yeah. Nah, I get out there. Even horse be jumping on me a little bit. Because they can make some shots when we standing still. They on the court now. They I was like, how you make that shot when you playing me? When they doing the horse. But yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting out there, man. I need to get back in shape. Man, so this thing, it's something like, the something light always be a little heavy. But I don't want to talk about it too much right now. We're going to come on in and at the end of the show and say something about it. But I do want to say this. This whole Whoopi Goldberg thing, man. I'll tell you this, man. I heard Whoopi said that the Holocaust wasn't about race. And I know there's some people I don't talk about on this show and some things I don't talk about on this show. And I'm not going to talk about them people because I done seen what happened, not on this show at least. Because I seen what happened when you talk about them people. I'm not going to talk about them people. But I will say this. I have heard white people say all the time when the police kill Africans or brown people that it wasn't about race. I hear that all the time. And now Whoopi says that very much the same thing, and everybody act like she might have done something wrong. And then she apologized for it, for what I hear. So maybe she felt like she did something wrong too. The astonishing thing, though, to me, is that her name Goldberg. That's a Jewish name. She been in the Jewish mix for a minute. But I guess you can only go so far. You can run with the pack till you can't. All right, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But I am gonna talk about a little something towards the close. What, you gonna play the clip? Oh, all right. Yeah. Now don't play the clip. You can't talk about them people. Not when you're on broadcast. All right, but look, we're about to get ready to go to break. And after we come back from break, I'm going to have my special guest here tell you all about her. Well, not all about her. I'll tell you all about her purpose for being here. And we're going to rap about the event that she has coming up. I think y'all are going to really enjoy the conversation. So, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. Call in 813-444-9588. 813-444-9588. And we'll be right back on the other side of the break. Killing me. That one right there.
Or a lawyer. I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking kids state of Florida. Grab a pen of sundown. 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Ask Ricky, push your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky, is a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and getting you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
We're playing your favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
Yo, yo, yo. Right back at you. The Life Malcolm Show. I am your host, Life Malcolm, right here on In Touch News Radio, where everybody is a star and the biggest star is you. I didn't say, I got in late, so I was rushing through my whole little thing, but didn't get a chance to do some of the housekeeping stuff I normally do. I did tell you right before the break that the call-in number is 813-444. I don't know why I always want to give out my number. 813-444-9588. And you can call in. It's a call-in show. And you can also join us on the In Touch News website. Join us on Facebook, on the In Touch News channel, or In Touch News page. And you can join us on YouTube on the In Touch News channel. And right now, we're going to have a conversation with this sister we have in the studio right here next to me. Her name is Antoinette Davis. And Antoinette is the justice minister over at Bible Base, where Pastor White, Anthony White, is leads the flock. Pastor White was here not too long ago, right here on the show, sat right there in that chair, and we had a discussion about the first Envision resolution, I think. Yeah, because I want to say revolution, but it's Envision resolution. Yeah, there it is. And he came in and told us about the program, and now Antoinette Davis is here to tell us about Envision Resolution 2 coming up. Not 2 as in also, but number 2. I guess the first time was so nice they had to do it twice, and they're getting ready to do that this February 28th at where's it gonna be?
So it's actually a virtual event.
It's gonna be that's right. It's gonna be virtual, and that means you can register and join and all that. But enough of me talking. Let's talk to you, Mrs. Davis. So, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Welcome to the Life Malcolm Show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Good. You've been here before.
I have, actually.
I just wasn't here.
That's right.
Yeah, my bad. You be picking all the nights when I'm tied up, huh? I think I was in court last time.
You
Pretty
were,
sure.
yeah.
We just won a trial. Just got to do it off of them 30 years. And so we were waiting on the verdict when you came through that time. But so tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Sure. As you said, my name is Antoinette Davis, and I am the director of Justice Ministry at Bible Based Fellowship Church. Personally, I'm a wife of one husband, Casey Davis, and a mother to 7 children.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. 7 children. That's like, unheard of these days. Let me see. My grandmother had 6, my maternal grandmother, and my paternal grandmother had 7 and 7. She had 7 boys, 7 girls. And you just don't hear couples these days enjoying, that type of parenthood much. So that's awesome. How's the oldest?
So the first 2 are my stepdaughters.
Okay.
So she's 25.
Okay.
And the oldest one that I birthed is 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the youngest?
And the youngest is 12.
Wow, that's all right. So you got them from grown to getting grown.
Yep.
That's all right. So tell me about the Justice Ministry. Like, how did you get to become the justice minister, the director? Tell me about how that goes. Losing my
Okay,
hearing aids.
sure.
Don't pay me no mind. Just go ahead and do your thing.
Sure. About 8 years ago, our church has always had a presence in our county, but about 8 years ago, we learned of an opportunity to do justice work with other congregations in Hillsborough County, recognizing that some of the issues that we face are common, and when we want to approach our public officials and ask for change, that we probably need some more people to ask with us. So we joined an organization called HOPE, which is an acronym for Hillsborough Organization for Progress and Equality. And this organization basically helps us to work, the congregations to work together on justice issues. So currently there are 25 other congregations besides Bible-based that are part of the work that we do. And over the years, we've worked on things like getting youth civil citations so that, youth that make youthful mistakes can get a citation as opposed to an arrest on their record that we know follows them for the course of their life. So we've worked on civil citations. One of our big wins is we got affordable housing, the HOPE Affordable Housing Act passed in Hillsborough County, so that now the county puts $10 million annually in the affordable housing. So if you've noticed, there's a lot of construction related to housing going on.
Right.
And that's because we have locally decided that we're going to prioritize encouraging developers to build units that will be accessible to those with low incomes and to seniors and others who need assistance in this way.
So let me stop you right there and ask you a couple of questions. All right. That was a new stop. The HOPE organization, how long has that been around?
HOPE has existed for 34 years.
Okay, so I'm familiar with that organization. All right, cool. Now, you said there's 25 congregations.
Yes.
Does each congregation have a director of the justice ministry?
So everybody, we're all building our own justice ministry in a way that's suitable to our own culture.
Okay.
So not necessarily everyone has a designated leader like Bible-based has, but we do a lot on our own in terms of justice as well.
Okay.
So that like this Envision Resolution event is one that we're putting on ourselves. And so we have a big justice ministry, whereas some of the other congregations, their work is not as broad and ministry is not as big as ours.
So how did you get to be the justice ministry director?
I was asked by our pastor to attend what we call the Nehemiah Action event that HOPE does every year.
Okay.
And I witnessed hearing the testimonies of, people telling how the injustices have impacted their lives. And I was really just so moved in the atmosphere and drawn to the idea that there is an organized approach for us to call for change. And after that meeting, he asked me if I would lead our justice ministry, and I accepted.
So what do you do as the director? Like, tell me a few things that you do as the director of the justice ministry. Like, do you demand justice in the church too? Or tell me a little bit about what your function is.
Sure. So our ministry is there to support the members.
Okay.
So sometimes they may have experienced injustices that they will then contact me to, either support their efforts for the solution that they're seeking. In my position as the director, I lead a team of 8 leaders who we work together to carry out the vision that our pastor has for justice ministry. So I coordinate all of that effort, working with our team. And a big part of what I do is have relationships so that as members encounter different things, like, for instance, me and the state attorney have a relationship. We have meetings with the sheriff and the chief of police, so that when members have things that come up and I need to address those individuals, I'm able to leverage my relationship with them to help members work through situations that they have.
That's dope. What about defense attorneys? You got any relationships with those? 'Cause maybe they might need some defense attorneys.
Well, we have built, I know a few defense attorneys, but we have built a relationship with the public defender's office as well. So those are kind of the point people that we go to.
So I got you. All right. All right, so you have the program coming up, and I know you were going to tell us some more about the Hope efforts, but I want you to say just a little bit about Envision Resolution and what people can expect just before we go to break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about some more of the things that you all have been able to accomplish and why it's important that people attend Envision Resolution.
Sure. I want to ask people to get this website down, because as we're talking, hopefully you'll be interested in joining us on February the 28th. But the website to register for the event, and actually at this website, you can get a copy of the resolution that we'll be talking about tonight. And there's a video of the previous event. So there's a whole host of things that you can find at Bible-based.org/envision. Envision spelled ENVISION. So
right on. That's Bible-based, right? Or you have to put the dash in?
Yeah, you got to put the dash in.
Bible-based.org. The slash. I think, which one is that? The backslash?
That's forward
slash. All right. Going forward. /ENVISION. Bible-based.org. I mean, everybody know how to spell Bible, right? You know, and we Bible-based.org /ENVISION. And you can also register at that website as well, correct?
That's right. It's a virtual event, so you have to register to attend. It's a meeting on Zoom.
How much does it cost to register?
It's a free event.
Free.
So yeah, it's free to the public, and
that must come from them relationships, because there ain't too much free justice going on around here. I can tell you that. So yeah, that's good. You can offer this to the people. It starts at 6:30.
That's right.
Lasts to 8:30. You know, really, that's a good time. And I know you're going to talk about the thing more when we come back, so I don't want to give out any spoilers. I think we got a break at about right now, huh? Yeah, all right, yeah. Well, listen, this is the director of the Justice Ministry at Bible-Based Ministry, who we're chatting with today, right here on I'm going to say Envision Resolution, right here on the Life Malcolm Show, discussing Envision Resolution. I'm going to go to break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
Hello, Tampa Bay. This is Ainsley Doe with Florida Realty Unlimited. As a broker with 15 years experience and a veteran of the Navy, I do understand your needs. Real estate prices are up. So if you're thinking of selling your home, call me for a free market analysis. If you're planning to buy a home, please call me for a free buyer's consultation. For more information, call Ainsley Doe at 813-546-1954. Once again, the number is 813-546-1954. Or check my ad out in the In Touch You.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay, call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida, grab a pen of sundown 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, push your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky. It's a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and getting you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
Yo. Welcome back, world, to the Life Malcolm Show. Right here on In Touch News, where everybody is staring into this bright light. Man, listen. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Right now, we're in the studio with Antoinette Davis. And you might wonder why I say that. It's because I say it like that, Antoinette. So I'm used to seeing the name Antoinette. And in my mind, that's Antoinette. You know, I guess some people might say Antoinette. And so today, yesterday, actually, as I read through some emails that had Mrs. Davis's name spelled Antionette, I was like, I had to call her like, hey, how you say that? Because I didn't know if it was like Antoinette. I knew it was something different. She said, no, it's a French, it has a French pronunciation. It's Antoinette. So I'll make sure I get that right, because I'm a stickler for that, man. You ought to be called what your name is. And yeah, I'm glad to have Miss Antoinette Davis here. Before we went to break, we discussed a little bit about the first Envision resolution. Tell us how that went, right quick.
It went really, really well. We worked with 30 volunteers from our church to put on this event, and it's a very sophisticated production.
Okay.
So we needed every bit of our 30 volunteers and some, because the event is very dynamic. So we have a panel that discusses a topic.
Okay.
And then we break the community out into smaller breakout rooms,
okay,
so that they can discuss what they heard and share their experience with the topic. And then the final thing that we're asking the community to do is to share how they envision the change.
Okay.
So we're trying to surface solutions to the problem. So not just a venting section,
Right.
but we're trying to ask people to think about what can we do to solve the problem.
What was the most interesting topic, or your favorite topic from the first Envision resolution?
So we had two topics that we discussed, and we talked about equity as a solution to the disparities. The events are centered around the county's resolution that declared racism as a public health crisis.
Okay.
So that's first and foremost. So within the resolution, there are several disparities that are pointed out in terms of income,
Okay.
employment opportunities,
Okay.
housing opportunities, and the such. And so we're proposing in the resolution, it was proposed that equity is a way that we might address the issues. So I like that approach, because anytime people are talking about racism, people feel like, oh, somebody's calling somebody a racist.
Right.
And so people's defenses go up, and it can cause the conversation not to go very far. However, this resolution is focused on institutional racism. So it's really talking about how the actual systems, the educational system, the criminal justice system, the financial system is built so that our racist past is still affecting us today. And it's causing, we see a direct correlation to the health disparities that Black people experience. So mama them, we know, have had things like diabetes and hypertension. And then we, when we get a certain age, we start noticing those same kinds of things. And so it becomes generational. And a lot of that is tied back to some of the systemic and institutional racism that we've lived with, the stress of it, and the habits that we've learned, the opportunities that we have had, or the lack thereof. So this conversation is really helping us as a community understand the dynamics of how all of that is interacting together.
So that thing that you call institutionalized racism or systemic racism, or did you say systemic or systematic? I know people say both. Which one did you say?
I say systemic.
Systemic racism is what we call colonialism on the Life Malcolm show. I'm a member of the African People's Socialist Party and a revolutionary, and we understand that while a lot of people talk about racism, and we're not going to jump off into that discussion, but I did think it's a good time to at least say that what we call what a lot of people call this institutionalized, and the way you described it is right. We call it colonialism because colonialism is when one nation controls another nation's everyday life. Everything about our lives is controlled by somebody else. Our food, our education, where we get money, where we can live. You understand? And of course, that's gonna make you sick. If you can't choose good food for yourself, choose a good living environment for yourself, etc. And so we call it colonialism because we understand that it's the abrogation of resources and the usurpation of power.
Of power, that's right.
And so, because we think of racism as a struggle of, making somebody like you or making somebody, be nice to you or something like that. But we understand that colonialism is a struggle for power. And when you have power, I think it was the white guy, Henry Kissinger, who said that power is an extreme aphrodisiac. People like you when you have power. So we want power. But that's over there, back to over here. That's why I said, it was so easy for me to, and still is easy for me to want to say envision revolution, because I say revolution all the time. But let's talk about resolution. Now, you were, before we went to our second break, you mentioned a few things that the Hope organization that helped these 25 churches get together has accomplished. And you were, I think you had a list that I might have interrupted to kind of segue in the break. And I wanted you, if you wanted to finish telling the people the kinds of things that you all have been able to accomplish since you've been this Justice Ministry organization of 25 congregations, and tell the audience at the same time how that leads into the Envision Resolution 2 that's happening on February 28th.
Sure. So to share some of the further share some of the accomplishments is that we've worked on elder care. That's one of the things that has come out in our discussions about some of our elders in our congregations being well enough to stay at home, but needing some assistance around the house to do certain things. So we worked on advocating on behalf of our elders in our county. We have worked on mental health as a new issue for us. This last year, we actually took that on last year as a new issue. So learning about the struggle that people have had in our county to access mental health services. And I'll use that as a segue to our Envision Resolution event, because the first time was focused on equity and community engagement, but this time that we're doing it, part 2, is to focus on health, so the physical and mental health. And we see that there are a lot of disparities, not only in access to mental health for people of color, but a lot of barriers that exist for us, so that it's the services are being underutilized. And so we're wanting people to come to this event, Envision Resolution, so that you can learn about what's in the resolution. And it's a lot in there in terms of talking about the problem, but it go as far as putting solutions on the table as well. And these are solutions that our Board of County Commission have committed themselves to do. But if you know, like I know, they're not going to do it if we don't make enough noise about it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We have to. Yeah, they might not even do it then, but we definitely have to have something to say about it. So, does the two questions? One, why is it that Bible Base decided to focus on health for Envision Resolution 2?
That's a good question. So the resolution itself is a declaration that racism is a public health crisis. And so it's really an acknowledgement of the intersection of race and health.
Gotcha.
So we're elevating the conversation to help people understand what that phrase means. Racism as a public health crisis, if we just break that down into parts, the piece that speaks to public is really sharing that it impacts all of us, right? So if you're white, it impacts you. If you're black, it impacts you. If you're Asian, Latino, the problem impacts all of us. So first of all, and then health just pertaining to both a person's mental and physical health, right? So not overlooking the mental stress and ability to cope with some of the outcomes that racist behaviors and our racist system causes for people. So sometimes we see it play out in behavior. Mm-hmm. We see it play out in people using alcohol, drugs, and different things like that to cope with the very idea that because of my race, I'm not accepted in this society.
Right.
And then, of course, that leads towards negative health outcomes.
Yeah.
I just
want to put a pin in that. When you say drugs, a lot of people might think of illicit drugs, especially when you say alcohol and drugs, right? But I mean, there's a situation in this country, in the U.S., where people are messed up on prescription drugs and, so-called legal drugs, especially us. A lot of us have to take these things for ADHD, ADD. They prescribe this stuff for our children in school, in middle school, high school, and then they end up getting a social, what they call it, SSI, is it SSI, SSI check. And then when they get the SSI check, they can't get a job, or if they get a job, they can only make so much money, so it leads to a certain kind of lethargy, et cetera. So I just wanted to kind of comment on that part, because it's not just the drugs, that people might think of as drugs that go with alcohol and drugs, but it's also these prescription drugs and even opiates that are certainly causing a health crisis right now. And we're about to take our last break. I'm glad that you're here, though. We're going to finish it up talking about what you can expect when you join Bible-Based Fellowship for Envision Resolution 2 on February 28th, right after this.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
We're playing your favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
Hello, Tampa Bay. This is Ainsley Doe with Florida Realty Unlimited. As a broker with 15 years experience and a veteran of the Navy, I do understand your needs. Real estate prices are up. So if you're thinking of selling your home, call me for a free market analysis. If you're planning to buy a home, please call me for a free buyer's consultation. For For more information, call Ainsley Doe at 813-546-1954. Once again, the number is 813-546-1954. Or check my ad out in the In Touch You.
Earl Mason too.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, it did. Yo. All right, welcome back to the Life Malcolm Show, right here on In Touch News, where everybody's a star and the biggest star is you. I am your host, Life Malcolm, and I'm sitting here, been talking with the very kind and impressive Justice Ministry Director over at Bible-Based Fellowship, Mrs. Antoinette Davis. She's been talking about the upcoming Envision Resolution 2 event that's happening. You can register for that. As a matter of fact, we're going to put the website on the screen for you so you can see the website, and you can go ahead and go to that site, register, take a screenshot, so you don't forget, take a screenshot. And when you get a chance, as soon as you can, if you can't do it right now, log on to the website. That's going to be bible-based.org/ENVISION, and you can, see. I think the resolution's there.
The resolution is there. Yes.
You can
Please
also
read
register, et cetera. And so it's all you, Mrs. Davis. Go ahead and tell us what you need us to know about Envision 2 coming up on February 28th.
So I was saying, please read that resolution. It's 4 pages. So it's not a long read, but there's a lot in there that we want to make sure people know. During these Envision Resolution events, it's a series. So we are going to have our final event in the summer in June. And what we've done is we're taking the resolution and broken it into parts so that, it's not a lot for people to kind of take in all in one setting. So we're having these events to raise awareness, right? The county has put some commitments on the table.
Okay.
And we want to raise awareness so that we can collectively ask for the change that we want to see. And we really promote, I know I personally do promote the philosophy that the people who are closest to the problem are closest to the solution.
Absolutely.
So this is a chance for the community to have a seat at the table, to have a voice in how we might think about impacting the health disparities that we see. So many of our public officials don't live close to the problem, so they don't necessarily know how to solve them. So we're engaging the community. It's not just an opportunity to listen, but it's an opportunity for you to have a voice as well in the process. And what we do with what we learn from the community is that we, on behalf of the community, give those things to the county commissioners so that they can then hear from the community about what things we feel will work in our everyday lives. And I just wanted to say that Hillsborough County's resolution is one of nearly 200 resolutions that exist in over 30 states. So this is a growing movement where people have been more and more learning how race and health are so intertwined. So they've been organizing and calling for these resolutions all over. So Hillsborough County actually is becoming a model for others to follow in regards to communities coming together and having the time and space to share in the solutions that we want to see. So it really works in our experience of working with Hope. It really works when people, and we've seen it historically where people have come together, whether it's been a march or a protest or something of that sort. So we really do need a lot of people to come together behind asking for the change related to this resolution. So we hope that people will go online and register. I actually am tracking how many of your listeners are going to go online tonight.
Okay.
And the next couple of days to register.
All right.
So I'm curious to see, after hearing us talk about this tonight, how many people will actually go online, take a look at the resolution and register.
Right on. I guess I got to be one of them. I got to lead the pack, since you put it like that. Bezel, sign me up right quick. But you know, that whole thing you said about the philosophy, the people who are closest to the problem or closest to the solution, you know, I think that's right on. And you know, that's one of the reasons why the African People's Socialist Party believes it's the masses of people, you know, that whom we refer to as the African working class masses, you know, the poor peasantry, if you will, who oftentimes have to deal with the brunt of the types of problems that the resolution seems to address, whether it's health, you know, homes, homelessness, you know, opportunities or the lack thereof, as you said a bit ago. And so it's so important to pull the African, you know, the masses of people into such an effort like this. And you know, this show does reach out and cater to the masses. It's all about, you know, I'm a working class African myself, so we're gonna definitely make a push for that. And at the same time, though, right, if the people who are closest to the problem are closest to the solution, it trails the people who are farthest from the problem are farthest from the solution, right? You know, so who's on the panel? That's the question.
Okay.
Who's on the panel? Are they close to the problem, or are they close to the far from the problem?
You know what? I like to think that the community is on the panel.
Okay.
Right? So everybody that show up will get a chance to be heard and voice their opinion.
I know last you said
right?
Vision Resolution 1 had some people already like.
Yeah, and we do have on our panel, we do have.
So who's on the panel?
Several subject matter experts and decision makers.
What we got?
We have a young lady who's very dynamic. Her name is Natasha Pierre, and she works in educating about the importance of making sure we're aware of our mental health.
Okay.
She's a mental health advocate and educator, and helping us Black people understand the impact of racial trauma that we still live with
every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So she says, and I love to hear her say this, that it's not post-traumatic stress for us because there's nothing post about it. We are living it still every single day. So it's just racial trauma.
I call it perpetual traumatic stress disorder.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Perpetual. Yeah.
And my son, I'll tell you this story real quick. My son is learning to drive. He's 15. He has his permit.
Okay.
Which means he can drive with a person of age with their driver's license. And we're both wearing our seatbelt, and he's driving the speed limit, and he saw a police officer. And he wasn't doing anything wrong, but he immediately started to panic. And I'm like, son, relax, because you're not doing nothing wrong. And you shouldn't feel what you feel right now because you see the police officer. Right? But that is a part of the stress, the perpetual
I don't know now. That's
stress.
Intelligent. I don't know.
Perpetual stress.
When you see the hangman coming, you're supposed to be get nervous. You know? Yeah, the police, man, you know, they do awful things to Africans, and so or Black people, as you say. And I mean, you know, I don't know. I can't say the young brother seems like he's aware of his surroundings, and that's
he is, and he should be.
Yeah,
but I wanted to speak to the anxiety that he was feeling to just let him know to relax, right? So whether it is what it is, whether they harass us or not harass us. Right, the anxiety is not going to help him. It's not. It's not fruitful for him.
I agree 100%.
And then I also wanted to use that as a teachable moment to let him know that that is not normal. We should not have to feel that way. Right. Because I don't want that to be normalized for him. I want him to, know both sides of the situation. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that. But that's a part of the mental stress that Natasha and her team helps us to work through and understand. So we have her doing a presentation. We had a lot of support from USF. From the Public Health College of Public Health. So we have Dr. Connor doing a presentation for us. And she does a lot with mental health law and policies. So taking the issues that we have and helping us to understand how we move that to law and policy.
Yeah.
Because that's where the real battle is. As you know, as a lawyer, the real battle is within what is written.
Every day.
And so as a community, we have to educate ourselves, use the power of our vote, choose the right people to represent us, and fight the battle through the laws and the policies.
100%. So listen, we have about 3 minutes left. I'm going to give you 2, and I'm going to take the last one. So go ahead and let the people know everything you know, kind of, if you haven't covered anything, say that. If you just want to sum up what you said about Envision Resolution 2 coming up on February 28th, do that. And, you know, I'm so happy that you had the opportunity to stop by and hang out the entire hour on the Life of Malcolm show and talk about this incredible event. I'm definitely going to register. And what day is the 28th?
It's a Monday.
A Monday. Woo! If I'm not in court, I will be on the Zoom.
On the Zoom. So it is virtual, everyone. Completely virtual.
It's all you.
Get on your phone, get on your tablet, your laptop, whatever you got, and join us so that we can collectively have a discussion about racism as a public health crisis. One of the things that I think is so profound in doing this work is that we can't afford this racism no more. We just simply cannot afford it. Leaving a whole population of people uneducated, unhoused, right? We cannot afford it anymore. And so I think a lot of people who once may have turned a blind eye to these issues are ready to listen, to do something about it in a way that we really haven't experienced anymore. But when people start looking at their bottom lines and their money looking funny, because of the demographics are changing here in Hillsborough County, we have an opportunity to really push, and it takes a lot of us to push. So I hope everybody will join us. We'll go on bible-base.org/envision to register so that we can talk about the change that we want to see, and we can work together to bring it about.
Thanks again, Antoinette. And so, listen, y'all, I really want to appreciate you tuning in to the Life Malcolm show. I hope you enjoyed this incredible, interview talking about the resolution the county's put down and the move that Bible-Based Fellowship is making on ensuring that the resolution is not just stuff in paper, but something that actually plays out in our community. And there's a lot of stuff that came out in this discussion. One of the things, towards the end, Antoinette talked about was her 15-year-old son who's learning how to drive and gets nervous when the police roll up behind him. And I just want to say, I'm 47 years old, and the police get behind me. I ain't gonna say I get nervous, but get the creepy crawlers, feel some kind of way when they get behind me. And Antoinette said, she said, don't do that, but I would tell you this right here. I like them African proverbs. And one of the ones I ran across recently is, one who loves you warns you. So, warn him. Be like, hey, you don't be nervous, but watch out. Something, yeah. I really appreciate y'all listening, tuning in. I'm looking forward to the next time. Wish my daughters good luck on the next basketball game or something like that. I guess one who loves them warns them, so I got to go warn them. Get out on that court, me and Bizzle. And next week, though, we'll be right back right here on In Touch News, man. Thank y'all so much.